Right. We need to talk about this because I can't believe something like this is happening. No, I can't believe something like this is happening. It's TikTok. If you don't have TikTok, I feel like you would have missed this, but this has been all over my For You page for the last 2 weeks. So you may have seen this woman, right? The one, the flaky, crusty, textured face, who's documenting her skincare journey of doing absolutely nothing to her skin. I tried this some years ago now and I failed miserably. I lasted a week. My skin felt rough within 3 days, but she is doing nothing to her skin. Her name is Tia Zaka, I believe. Zaka, she's 22 years old. She's in her 20s and she's basically become the face of what's called the Caveman skincare method. She's ditched skincare entirely. No cleanser, no moisturizer, not even water, not even a splash. And she hasn't done this for a weekend or a week, just kind of give her skin a break. She's been doing this for over 6 weeks now. Understandably, people are freaking the fuck out. Her videos show her skin very dry, flaky, textured, and discolored. Now, comments range from concern to disgust to some admiration, if we're going to be fair. Some are begging her to see a dermatologist, and others are curious about whether this could actually work. And then there are, of course, some conspiracy theorists, people who think she's doing this for clout, and I want to kind of cover it all today. So I'm going to take you through what this method actually is, what Tia herself has said about this method, whether there's any science behind the caveman approach, and why people are accusing her of faking the whole thing. And of course, what are the dermatologists and professionals saying about this? So, as I mentioned, according to Tia, her skin is the way it is right now because of a complete skincare detox. She says that she spent years over exfoliating, picking at her skin, and damaging her skin barrier. So, her solution was to stop everything. Let the skin regulate itself naturally, in quotes. In a video, she says, what you're seeing is dead skin that's going to flake off eventually while new healthy skin forms underneath. She says there's already some patches where you can see that the skin has just kind of come off and there's fresh new skin underneath. I've basically stopped all skincare, not using any water. I'm just letting my barrier rebuild itself naturally. Spoiler, you don't have to do this to let your barrier rebuild itself. She insists that what viewers are seeing is just part of the healing process. The shedding, the flaking, the texture, all part of the skin purging damage and regulating on its own timeline kind of thing, right? She's also opened up about the mental side of the journey. She says that because this must be hard, right? Walking around like this. And she's going out. She went to a wedding. She's run a marathon. She is going about her daily business, which honestly I admire because I would be stuck in my house. She says some days are tougher than others. And I feel like I just want to exfoliate this off and pick it all off. But I've learned just to block that out. Moral of the story is don't place so much value and importance on external validation and just be confident in yourself and in your own skin, literally. It's clear that for Tia, this is just as much a personal experiment as it is kind of a skincare reset, also maybe a social media experiment. We'll see. So what is the caveman method though? So there are really two versions of the caveman skincare method floating around the internet at the moment. So there's the water only method, which is what it says on the tin. You splash your face with water, that is it. No products, nothing. Then there's the no contact method, which you just stop washing completely. No water, no cleanser, no moisturizer, no touching, nothing. And this is the one that Tia has taken. She's taken the no contact route. The theory behind this is that eliminating all external irritants and allowing your skin to operate in its natural state, your skin barrier will heal itself. The oil production, the dead skin shedding, the microbiome, all of it will balance out naturally, supposedly. It's kind of like turning your face into a nature preserve and just hoping it figures it out for itself. But does it actually work? So here's where it gets kind of interesting, right? Supporters of the caveman method believe that modern skincare has become overly complicated and harsh, and that by stripping the skin of oils, over cleansing, over exfoliation, we're doing more harm than good. And there is some truth in that. Skincare, we're all doing way more than we have to, right? Overdoing skincare can of course damage your skin barrier, especially if you're laying up those acids, retinols, harsh cleansers incorrectly. But does doing nothing fix that. Now, historically, humans have always engaged in some kind of skin cleansing. Ancient people used water, oils, mud, clay, and even sand to wash and protect their skin. They didn't use vitamin C either, but they weren't ignoring hygiene either. So while modern skincare minimalism can be healthy, zero hygiene at all probably isn't the right move. Now let's get into a bit of drama, I guess you can say. Some people on TikTok are convinced that Tia is lying about her skin. A lot of people think she's doing this for clout. They think Tia's not really letting it flake off naturally, but is instead using some kind of like layered combination of like a clay mask, powder, and makeup to mimic this crusty appearance. One TikToker, S666 Dabao, said that part of me just has to believe this is rage bait.
I truly think that this is rage bait. This girlie is saying that she is using the caveman method, but reading all of the comments, everybody is saying like, girl, this is not what you think it is. Maybe she saw a doctor and they're telling her that this is okay, but girlie just says that it's the caveman method and many people have done it. Part of me just has to believe that this is rage bait and that there's something else going on that she has seen a doctor for and that she has everything under control. That's honestly what I'm gonna tell myself, because the reality of this could actually be much worse and I don't want to face that.
Whereas another creator, Y2 Kelsey, went so far as to do multiple experiments, layering clay mask, foundation, and pressed powder to try and mimic Tia's skin texture. And even though she couldn't replicate it fully, she still believed this could be what Tia's doing.
If you're just now tuning in, hello, my name is Kelsey, and all day I have been testing the theory that the creator Tia has maybe been using a face mask and is not actually having a bacterial infection on her face, allegedly. So far we have done the clay mask and loose powder method, and the clay mask and foundation method, and now we're trying mixing the foundation with the clay mask. So what I am going to do though that worked really well on the last one was last time I started to wipe this away a little bit to make it blend in more naturally with my skin, and that's when it really started to look similar to hers. And this is where we are now with wiping it off with a makeup wipe a little bit. Let me show you on the back camera. Here we are on the back cam.
So the jury's still kind of out. Is it a legitimate skin experiment or like a viral marketing stunt? I have to say, I believe it's real. I think the pictures we see that we're going to see in a minute, trigger warning, skin conditions, kind of show that what Tia has is what the dermatologists are about to diagnose her with. So let's get into the science, right? Let's get into the diagnosis. Well, not diagnoses, because online dermatologists aren't allowed to diagnose people online, right? Of course, the voice of reason when it comes to dermatologists, Dr. Dre, a board-certified dermatologist, says yes, some people improve their skin by stopping all products, especially if they have allergies.
Friendly reminder, I cannot give medical advice. I can't provide a diagnosis because she's not my patient. I don't know her medical history and everything that's going on with her. It's absolutely true that there are many facial skin issues that can significantly improve when you put the brakes on skincare routines, especially if you're allergic to something in your skincare.
But what Tia is showing us looks like something called dermatitis neglecta, a skin condition caused by lack of hygiene. Dr. Dre goes on to describe the texture as cornflake-like, which is a very good description, and said it can be easily treated just like by cleansing the skin again.
You can also develop facial skin conditions as a result of not washing your face. This is a condition known as dermatitis neglecta. The scaliness is described as cornflake-like, and once you start washing your face, it goes away. Also, seborrheic dermatitis can get worse when you don't wash your face because of the oily buildup that favors overgrowth of malassezia.
Dr. Hure, another dermatologist, believes that what Tia is experiencing is more likely something called retention hyperkeratosis, saying that the skin's outermost layer isn't exfoliating itself naturally. If you suddenly stop everything, the skin doesn't know what to do. Unless she starts to gently wash and exfoliate again, the buildup will just keep thickening.
So this is something called retention hyperkeratosis. It can go by different names as well. It can have a little different clinical appearance. Some people call it terra firmiforme dermatitis. The thing is that basically you have an abnormal hyperkeratosis, meaning that the top layer of skin, the stratum corneum, is not sloughing off like it usually does. What I'm seeing is like the exact opposite from what a lot of people do. And a lot of people are actually stripping their skin and doing too much, right? So they're actually over exfoliating, they're over cleansing, they're doing too many, serums and this and that, which can actually lead to the opposite thing, which is your breakdown of your barrier. Now, that creator did say that she was doing a lot of that stuff prior. So she was over exfoliating, probably like even a couple times a day. Now, unfortunately, what happens when you stop these sort of things cold turkey is your skin is used to it. And so it actually, it kind of needs that sort of over exfoliation. Otherwise, it will start to build up. And this is probably what exactly happened, is that she stopped using everything and didn't even then wash, because washing with cleanser and water is enough to actually exfoliate what you need to exfoliate. So this is actually scanning electron microscopy of skin. And the very top layer, way up here, is the stratum corneum, and that is the dead skin layer. But that is your barrier. So a lot of people don't understand what your skin barrier is. Your skin barrier is the dead skin layer. So when you're constantly exfoliating, then you are creating a problem with your barrier, okay? The issue here is that when you don't do anything to take this off, right? So you're not using water, you're not using, gentle cleanser, then it will absolutely build up.
Then I saw this video from Dr. Rubin, an allergy and immunology expert. He kind of expressed concern, saying that this caveman method isn't generally recommended at all. Not washing your face can lead to a buildup of bacteria, oil, and fungus, a condition called dermatoscopsis neglecta. And while he says that they do recommend some patients stop using certain products to identify certain allergens, they don't recommend just stop washing completely. So should you be trying the caveman skincare method if your skin needs a break? Probably not, no. Unless you have strict guidelines from a dermatologist or a professional, doing absolutely nothing to your skin can do more harm than good. Skincare doesn't have to be complicated though. A gentle cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen are more than enough for most people. And if your barrier is compromised, simplify, yes, but don't neglect. Tia might believe that this is healing her skin, and maybe there is some new skin forming underneath, we don't know, but most professionals agree the crusty buildup you're seeing, that's not your barrier healing, that's your skin begging for a cleanse. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think this is real? Do you believe Tia? Do you think she's using some kind of mask and foundation hybrid to trick us all into rage bait? Would you give this method a go? I don't think you will. But let me know in the comments anyway. You can watch some more kind of general commentary here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.